Imagine one day where no one on earth can see you. In that moment, you'll do one of two things. You'll do something good, or you'll finally do the thing you've been hiding your whole life, and psychologists already know which one is more likely. More clearly than you'd want them to, almost everyone has imagined becoming invisible, sneaking into a movie theater, walking wherever you want, unseen. A day where no one bothers you. Sounds like a harmless fantasy, but something strange happens. The moment this question moves from daydream into a psychology lab, the answers change completely. And buried in those answers is something about ourselves we may not want to know. This idea is not new. In the 4th century BC, the philosopher Plato already asked this exact question. He called it the ring of Gyges. A shepherd stumbles upon a ring. When he turns it, he becomes invisible. Soon he sneaks into the palace, seduces the queen, kills the king, and takes the kingdom for himself. Plato used this story to ask one thing. If the risk of being caught disappeared completely, would a person still choose to be moral? 2,400 years later, we still don't have a clean answer. And this is exactly where the real story begins. In the early 2000s, psychologists finally brought this question into the lab. They gave participants anonymity, covered faces, hidden names, a guarantee that nothing they did could ever be traced back to them. The results came faster than anyone expected. People lied more, stole more, acted more aggressively than usual. There's a name for this: de-individuation. When your identity is no longer visible, your brain quietly rewrites its own rules. But here's where it gets strange. Not everyone changed the same way. Some people became kinder than usual. They helped strangers in secret. They did good things no one would ever know about. Same anonymity. Two completely different responses. What does that difference actually mean? We usually assume that invisibility would turn us into worse people. But what psychologists discovered is a little different. What changes the moment you become invisible isn't your morality. What changes is your sense of who is watching. Most human behavior is quietly designed around the presence of an audience. Why we dress neatly, why we hold back a lie, why we swallow our anger instead of exploding. A surprising amount of that isn't morality at all. It's observation. Psychologists call this the social surveillance effect. And here's the uncomfortable part. A large part of what you've believed makes you a good person may simply be the fact that someone was watching. Almost no one talks about this part. Now, let's actually walk through it. You open your eyes. The mirror shows nothing. The first few minutes feel electric. Freedom, almost intoxicating. You step outside. People walk past you. No one meets your eyes. But this is where the first shift happens. 30 minutes in, a strange feeling starts to creep in. Not freedom. Loneliness. Human beings confirm their own existence in part by being seen by others. Just as a body that casts no reflection feels alien, a self that no one perceives starts to blur, even to itself. There's a real term for this in psychology: social invisibility. And it's eerily close to what elderly people, homeless individuals, and marginalized groups often describe. People look right through me. The fantasy of becoming invisible is quietly an experience already happening to someone, somewhere, right now. And this is where everything changes. Now the real test arrives. You can do anything, and no one will ever know. Steal money. Read someone's secrets. Do the thing you've always wanted to do, but never allowed yourself. But something surprising showed up in the data. Most people who chose to do something harmful under anonymity later reported strong guilt, or a strange emptiness. Meanwhile, those who quietly helped someone reported the opposite: deeper satisfaction, higher self-worth. Even when no one else was watching, something inside them still was. Psychologists call this the internalized observer. Even when every external eye disappears, there remains a private one that never fully closes. And this is the part almost no one talks about. Real freedom doesn't come from being unseen. It comes from being able to face yourself, even when no one is watching. This was never really about invisibility. This is about us. We're already becoming invisible, a little at a time, every single day. Anonymous accounts behind a profile picture, comments thrown from behind a screen, a faceless digital world. The ring of Gyges is no longer a myth. It's the phone in your pocket right now. Every time we're granted anonymity, we're quietly placed back in front of that same ancient question. Who am I? When no one is watching, and a harder question follows right behind it. The good person you believe you are, is that really who you are? Or is it a version of you that only exists because someone was watching? The fantasy of invisibility looks like a fantasy of freedom, but the truth is closer to the opposite. It's a mirror, one that shows exactly how much of who we are was built to be seen. So ask yourself this: if today no one on earth could see you, at the end of that day, could you still look at yourself and recognize who you are? Because the real you isn't the version people see. The real you is who you become when no one does.